I enjoy fantasy as a genre, but much of its modern world-building suffers from the same recurring flaw. Creators often fail to seriously consider how a fundamentally different world would actually function. Many settings default to surface-level variation, and race design is one of the clearest examples of this problem. Baldur's Gate 3 illustrates it well. Across its many non-human races, dwarves, elves, tieflings, and even drow, we see the exact same human ethnic phenotypes replicated wholesale: Asian, black, Indian, white, and so on. These races are canonically separate species with distinct origins, lifespans, and biologies, yet their population structures mirror modern human demographics perfectly. From a world-building perspective, this makes little sense. Independent evolutionary histories would not produce identical subgroup divisions. What's being presented isn't a thoughtfully constructed fantasy ecology, but a cosmetic overlay applied for external reasons, with no internal justification. A similar lack of consideration appears in how gender is portrayed. Many fantasy settings claim a medieval or pre-industrial foundation while depicting men and women as functionally interchangeable in all social and physical roles. Skyrim, for instance, populates its world with female blacksmiths, elite guards, and criminal leaders at rates that rival or exceed male representation. Despite these being male-dominated fields, even in modern industrial societies, the issue isn't that women exist in these roles at all, but that the setting offers no explanation for how or why such a labor structure emerged under medieval constraints. This gender equality stuff is made even worse because it contradicts itself when the narrative attempts to acknowledge sexism. Characters generally behave as if there are no meaningful differences between the sexes, yet the story will occasionally reference sexism out of nowhere. The result is incoherent world-building. The setting simultaneously asserts full gender equality while gesturing towards social dynamics that would only exist if that equality did not. Also, if men and women truly live identical lives in these societies, then basic logistical questions arise. Who is raising children? What are the birth rates? How do these societies sustain their populations without modern healthcare, labor-saving technology, or industrial infrastructure? In the real world, even modest gender equality has dramatically altered demographics, labor markets, and family structures, effects that are only manageable because of modern technology. A medieval society lacking those tools would face severe consequences. This is where immersion breaks down. Many creators want the aesthetic of the past combined with the ideology of the present, but without engaging with the structural consequences of that combination. So-called diverse worlds are often presented where every race is effectively just human, distinguished only by altered skin tones and minimal facial variation. Equality is asserted, yet the biological, economic, and social realities that would meaningfully differentiate these societies are either ignored or deliberately flattened. The result is not genuine diversity, nor is it believable inclusion. It is a flattening of differences that strips the world of internal logic. When distinctions between races, cultures, and genders are treated as irrelevant, the setting loses its sense of reality. The core issue is the refusal to engage with difference. Ignoring it is not progressive world-building. It is shallow writing. A believable fictional world is one that acknowledges how differences shape societies rather than pretending they do not exist. Mass Effect stands out as an example of a franchise that largely understands this. While some species are intentionally human-like, many are biologically, culturally, and socially distinct in somewhat meaningful ways. Distinct races, cultures, and social structures are what give a setting texture and credibility. When everything is the same beneath the surface, nothing feels real, and that's a big problem because it's not really fantasy anymore. It's the author's worldview sprinkled on top of a setting which doesn't make sense for the setting they're writing for.